All right, so for systems of quadratics that also go along with linear functions, so far we've talked about you can solve it by graphing and you can solve it by elimination. Those are two of the methods that you also learned when we talked about just your standard systems of equations. So today we're going to talk about the third method, just like with the other one, and that's being substitution. And with that substitution, it's literally the same thing as you saw with the others that you did before to get it started. We're substituting something, replacing something that is equal. However, it looks different for this because there's just more steps after that due to it being a quadratic. So for this first example here, what I'm going to do is, a couple different ways to think about it. They're both y equals, and if they both equal y, then they equal each other. So you can think of it that way, or you can think of straight doing your substitution, in which I'm going to circle the bottom one, and I'm going to replace the y in the top one. That gives me 4 minus x equals x squared minus 6x plus 10. When I get that, I can't do anything with it until I have everything together on one side and it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 4 and add x on both sides. So I'd add my x to the negative 6x and I'd subtract my 4 from the 10. That leaves us with, and I'm going to switch sides as well. I think sometimes we just see things a little bit better. So that leaves us with x squared minus 5x, because negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5, plus 6, and that's equal to 0. Now I'm looking at that and I'm thinking about numbers that multiply to give 6 and add to give negative 5, because I think we all have seen at this point that the easiest way to solve quadratics is definitely to factor, and it does work out nicely here because x minus 2 times x minus 3 would give us our x squared minus 5x plus 6, because negative 2 plus negative 3 definitely gives us negative 5x, and negative 2 times negative 3 will give us a positive 6. So based on that, I know that my x is 2, because in order for that first parentheses to produce a 0 value, we'd plug 2 in there, 2 minus 2. And then for the other one, we have x equals 3. For the same reason, 3 minus 3 gives us the 0 that we are looking for. Now, just a friendly reminder that we have a system here. Okay? Before, we found an x value, found a y value, that was it. But as you saw yesterday, there's two answers in which both of them have an x and a y. Doesn't matter which one you choose to plug it into, but obviously the bottom one is going to be easier math, particularly with these numbers. So I'm going to plug it into the bottom one there. That gives me y equals 4 minus 2, which is 2, and y equals 4 minus 3, which is just 1. Final step in all this, put it all together so you have your final answers. So my two answers will be 2 comma 2 as well as 3 comma 1, because that is the x values we found, those two, and then the y values we found when we plugged them in. As always, you can check your work. I think it's a great skill, a great thing to just kind of be used to doing. I'm just going to do it verbally just to kind of help you out with that. So if I look at the first one, for the top value, that gives me 2 equals. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 6 times 2 is 12. So 4 minus 12 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 10 does give us the 2 that we're looking for. Has to work on the bottom as well. When y equals 2, then on the right side, 4 minus 2 also equals 2. So that was kind of my quick check. The first one worked out. I'm going to just vocally check the second one. So we're trying to get the right side of the first equation to equal 1 by plugging a 3 in. So that gives us 3 squared, which is 9. You have your 6 times 3, which is 18. So we're at 9 minus 18. Which gives us a negative 9. You add 10 to it, you end with a 1 value. So that one worked out. On the bottom, the right side needs to equal the y value, which is 1, and 4 minus 3 does equal 1. So I just kind of vocally checked. That's not always your best practice. I've run out of space on this screen. I don't want to do a new one for you there. You've all done enough checks at this point that you don't really have to necessarily see it to be able to do it, but I would highly recommend checking these because it would be great to know you have the right answer. Okay, let's just do one more example. I won't go through as much of it or as in depth because this is kind of your really concrete one. We'll just do another one just so you see it a second time, and that will be it. All right, so for this one, a couple things right now. You can either plug it in directly because you do have a y value alone. Otherwise, you might feel like you'd like to get the y alone on the top and then plug it in. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and plug it directly in. So that gives me x squared plus 11x minus 12 minus 30 equals 12x. I will be combining on this side, those two, as well as subtracting 12x on both sides. So that gives us x squared minus x, because 11 minus 12 gives us a negative 1, and negative 12 minus 30, same sign, add and take the sign, that leaves us with negative 42, and that's all equal to 0. Okay, so once again, we're looking to factor first. That's usually our best practice, and 42 has multiples of 6 and 7 that subtract to give us 1. Okay, then you just have to make sure you pick the correct one that's going to be your positive and the correct one that's going to be your negative. In this case, it'll be x minus 7 and x plus 6, just to kind of check to make sure. For the first one, or you talking through the whole thing, negative 7 times 6 is definitely negative 42, and when you do negative 7 plus 6, you land at negative 1. That means our two values are x equals 7 to make the first one 0, and x equals negative 6 to make the second one 0. So now we have to plug them in to figure out what our y values will be. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. I'll probably just pick the top one, just so that I don't have to square things, but it doesn't really matter. So we're at y minus 30 equals 12 times 7. So we're at y minus 30 equals, I'm just going to break 12 times 7 apart. I'm going to do 10 times 7, which is 70, and 2 times 7, which is 14, and 70 plus 14 is 84. And then we're going to add 30, so y equals 114. And not the smallest number in the world. That would be a little more challenging to check. Definitely one you couldn't just talk through on this one. For the other value, that gives us y minus 30 equals 12 times negative 6. Kind of break that apart too. 10 times 6 is 60. 6 times 2 is 12. 60 plus 12 is 72. We're at y minus 30 equals negative 72. Adding 30, they're different signs, so y equals negative 42. Put it all together for our final answer. Just going to kind of throw it in the middle here. That's the space I have. When we plugged in 7, we got 114 for our y value. And when we plugged in negative 6, we got negative 42 for our y values. So that is just a second option in which you can use substitution as well.